Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. So, whole bunch of us just had a watch party on my Discord. I posted it. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but it exists. We were out there. We were there's only like six of us total. I guess it was like a last minute thing. I let everybody know like at 8:30 or 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock, I was fumbling through everything and trying to play it. So yeah, if you guys want to show up on the Discord and you want to watch a movie with me, that would have been fun. No big deal. A couple of us were there. It was fine. We enjoyed it. We didn't need you. We didn't need you. But if you did want to show up next time, bang, there's Discord info right there. Oh, all of a sudden everybody wants to join now, right? Anyway, so I'm thinking about every Sunday night, Eastern Standard Time, maybe have like a thing where we all hang out and watch a movie. We'll see. It doesn't have to be anything as exciting as this, but just in general. But yeah, this dropped yesterday. I think this dropped yesterday or the day before yesterday on digital. It's not on DVD yet. I'm probably going to buy it on DVD also because I mean this was pretty good. It was good enough I could sit there and watch it with my kids. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. Hey, everybody's in the chat. What's up, Corey? Day's going pretty good. I was feeling depressed earlier on, looking at political stuff and whatnot, and people once again unabashedly bashing someone for being for the people. But hey, what do I know? And then I go and watch this, and I'm like, oh wow, it's like capitalism versus socialism, and there's Wonder Woman in the mix of it, and I'm like, I wonder if they released this for a specific reason at this particular time because that's very coincidental, or maybe it's just me supplementing people in places of the Trinity. But this was great. And if anybody's actually read the Red Sun comics, and you'd have to read all three of them. There are three of them. There's Red Sun Rising. This is from the Elseworld series. There's Red Sun Rising, Red Sun Ascendant, and Red Sun Descending or something like that. Sunset. I don't remember. It was something like that. There was like three of them, and they were freaking kind of cool. I'm just saying. Um, what do you call? Oh, so that's who Sabrina is. Okay, what's up? How you doing, girl talk? So, yeah, this was very, very comic book accurate. And let's just be realistic for a hot moment here. I'm going to tell everybody if you want to go out and you want to rent this movie, you want to buy this movie, you want to digitally download the movie legally, please. Or if you want to wait for the DVD to come out, by all means, but get it and watch it. Watch it at a friend's house. Come by for a watch party with me one of these days if you want. Set up your own watch party. You know what I'm saying? Just watch the movie and enjoy it. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Um, Dude, there were like a couple little spoilers, here and there. Not even so many Easter eggs, just little hints of something here and there and whatnot. But this covered all three books. It didn't end quite the same way. It wasn't 2,000 years in the future. In fact, I think that this ended better than what the book did. I know. How dare you disrespect Mark Millar? Relax, man. Mark Millar isn't God. He's just best friends with him and next door neighbor. But especially with all the Netflix stuff coming out now, and this guy pretty much owns Netflix. Yeah, I think it's a good idea they decided to go with this, and especially at this particular time. Like the stars were just in perfect alignment for this movie to come out. So make no mistake, I am heaping praise upon this movie because it was really just that good. Is this like it should have been in the movie theaters? I don't know, but yeah, maybe. Maybe honestly, maybe. Because you know what? Like with the DCEU not doing as good as we'd like to have thought that it was going to do, this would be a good way to show AT&T and everybody else that, hey, guess what? This actually could work. The DCEU actually could work. You're just putting the wrong people in charge. So I mean, yeah, I go and check out my podcast. That not the live stream. That's different. I just put up the podcast tomorrow. I'll actually put up the video of the podcast, the whole thing straight through, so you guys can check that out. Because yeah, it's worth it. I think I think it was worth it. Anyway, wow, it was good. Holy crap! This was like genuinely, this was really good. This was a fun watch. Um, uh, what do you call it? All the same little things that happened in the movie, or excuse me, in the books, like in the three individual books, they actually happened in here. I mean, almost verbatim, almost. There were some differences, like I said, but almost verbatim, these things actually happened, and it was great. So, what have you now? Like Superman is growing up, and he's just like, oh wow, look, I'm super strong. What am I going to do? And the one girl who believes in their version of communism, she's like, you have to give your powers to the state. You have to, because like you're going to be able to make the world a better place. You're going to be able to help all of us. And he's like, okay. And he believes it. And he goes. And for the most part, that's exactly what he's doing. And he's still Superman. And you can still tell he's super. He's just got a Russian accent, but he's still the good guy. And then he comes to find out what's actually going on behind the scenes. And this has nothing to do with the politics specifically. This has nothing to do with the economic system. This has everything to do with the person who is actually in charge. Because what does it say in the book 1984? The whole purpose of gaining power is to gain power, not to relinquish it at some point. So once you get in power, you start to consolidate power. You start to make sure that you can keep the power, and that's exactly what Stalin was all about. This book didn't go into the serious detail in there, but if I'm remembering correctly in the comic books, I haven't read it in years. But the last time I remember, I think I remember in the comic books. Tell me if I'm wrong in the chat, please. Um, JFK was the president, but he was the president after the assassination of Nixon. Whoa, 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 hold on. Nixon was in before JFK? No, not in our time. And that's one of the things that I did have a problem with the book, is they said that the only difference between the book, or excuse me, the only difference between what happens in the book, this Elseworlds book, and what happened in the actual continuity books, excuse me, is that the shuttle, Superman's Kal-El's shuttle, actually went. It was like a couple hours after it had left. So instead of the shuttle landing in the rocket, instead of it landing in Kansas, it wound up landing in what you call it, Ukraine instead, which was under um, Russian control. Anyway, so like everything else was supposed to be the same. The thing is, everything wasn't the same. So uh, Lex Luthor and Lois Lane wind up getting married and stuff like that. And it's like that wouldn't have happened. And if Superman just didn't show up any place, those two wouldn't have gotten married. So there was a whole bunch of other things that wound up happening instead. It wasn't just the idea that the ship was a couple hours after it would have normally landed. The whole thing was completely different. I've got no issues with that for the most part. Just when you make an explanation, but your explanation doesn't tread water, yeah. So I have more of a problem with the explanation than anything else. So this is just the way I look at it. This is simply an Elseworlds book, and that's it. That's really all there is to it. Um, yeah. So anyway, uh, I don't know. I don't really want to spoil too much. I mean, this is considered a spoiler thing, but yeah, the Green Lantern Corps was actually in this. All of them, for the most part. It was really cool. Did he sort of become Clark Kent at the end? Well, yeah. As far as the ending is concerned, Jeffrey Lane. See, in the original, here's what I'm going to say: the Clark Kent thing. Yes, he kind of becomes Clark Kent in the end. Um, what happens is that in the end of the actual comic book, Superman he winds up leaving Earth and he goes into this future. And oh look, Lex Luthor is there also. This is 2,000 years in the future, and they wind up meeting. And I don't want to get too much into the spoiler of that book. This is supposed to be a spoiler of the movie. And that was, like that was a cute ending. It was like, okay, cool. They meet each other and they realized neither was right, neither was wrong. They were both right, they were both wrong. And it was a cool, very unique way of looking at it. But this was, yeah, realistically, only the ending was radically changed. Everything else pretty much stayed the same. And I love that. But this goes to the point that a lot of us make. There's already so much great history in the Marvel and the DC comics that why do you feel the need to change things when you can make it into a movie? Oh, we're going to base such and such movie off of this, so and so storyline. Why would you do that? I don't know why you would do that. Why would you do such a thing? Like the stories were obviously good. Why would you need to base it off of anything? Hmm? So this was this was the way to do it. You change the ending, make it a little bit less corny, and make it a little bit more realistic, kind of bring it back home. Like maybe I don't even know, maybe they went and consulted Mark Millar and said, if you could have changed anything about that book, those three books, what would you have done? And maybe he said, well, here's what I actually would have done. And that's what they went with. I don't know. But for a 1.5 hour movie or so, 1 hour and 40-minute long movie, something to that effect, brah, they really, really put it together. Like they really put all three of these books, all those catchy main points, they put them together in this movie, and it was great. Because anybody who read the books, they could have made a movie just off that first book. The Batman versus Superman moment in here was really cool, and it made sense. Yeah, I was all over this, man. Wonder Woman in this, she was a straight up beast. I loved her version, the version they portrayed of her in this. Let's check out some of these comments before I bounce out of here. What happened with Wonder Woman? Why did her hair change? Oh, so you didn't actually see the movie? No big deal. She her, in this they had it that her powers were inexorably tied to the lasso of truth, the golden perfect. So she had to break the lasso of truth, and that's how come she wound up getting she wound up turning, like the white hair. She actually wound up getting older, and something else was done, which they didn't bother explaining in here, but something else was done to make her younger again, to give her more power again, but she still kept the white hair. So it was cool. Wow, Lewis, really? You think it needs to be uh turned to DC needs to be sold to Marvel? Gosh, I hope not. Some people don't like stories being cross-mediumed verbatim. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. But sometimes when you just have the essentially perfect story, I don't know, man. Like, why change it to try and make it your own when you're just going to make it worse? Let's campaign for it. Professor, don't you think it's time to make Nightfall and The Long Halloween into animated movies? It's funny. The way that I watched this movie, I actually watched it in my Discord. Here, I'll throw this out again. Boom, that's my Discord. Every Sunday night, I'm gonna try and do something with everybody in Discord, so everybody can just kind of hang out with me, and we can try and watch a movie together or watch something together. There's actually an idea that I'm stealing wholesale from Blurred Without Fear. I let him know. I was like, listen, man, I'm stealing this idea from you. He's like, okay. He seems to have given his approval. We good. But yeah, I just took inspiration from that, and I'm like, you know what? How about maybe every Sunday I'll try and hang out in the Discord and watch a movie of some sort with you guys, something that I own that I can transfer to pure digital form and actually hang out and whatnot. So yeah, that's what we did. It was just six of us. We hung out, we watched this movie, and we had comments afterwards. And one of the questions that was brought up is what should be the next one that we talk about? Which should be the next animated DVD DC movie that we do? And I'm thinking to myself, it would be great if they did The Long Halloween. I'm saying, because it was really fantastic. So I would definitely go and do that. Silva Surfa, what's up? I've been wanting a 3-part Nightfall animated movie. Uh, does it need to be 3 parts? I don't. I think they could do it in 2 parts. Honestly, I think that they could just do it in 2 parts. It'd be a really great way to just throw it together. Um, Yeah, just I don't want to see the New 52 versions of these characters anymore. I'm so tired of it. I think that's one of the reasons why I like this so much. The DC animated movies, for the most part, have been spot on and perfect. They've been the best part of DC, aside from the comics, for a really long time. Their movies, to me, just never cut it. I get it. There's a bunch of people talking about this Zack Snyder cut. Sorry. I don't want to see more of Zack Snyder stuff, with all due respect. And if you disagree, cool. We simply disagree. I respect everybody, the people who want the Snyder cut. Cool. You know what I'm saying? If he's able to pull that off, I'm down for. I'll watch it. Maybe I'll be knocked off my out of my socks, but I don't know. That's not what I'm really here for. So I really look at it as you know what I'm saying? I would just like to see the a 2-part Nightfall at one point. You do the whole breaking of the bat, and then you do the Azrael thing, and where Batman actually winds up coming back. I don't think you need to make Azrael coming and then Batman coming back a two-parter. I think that you're good with just doing the regular two parts. That could actually be a whole lot of fun. Aside from that, um, yeah, I don't know. Like the Long Halloween, I think is the most obvious choice for me because the next one would probably come out around Halloween anyway, right? Um, they just had the Wonder Woman Bloodline, and you know what's funny? I own the movie, and I haven't freaking watched it yet. That's how busy I'd gotten for a while. I started writing a comic book for a contest for Top Cow that just ended 2 days ago. So I was able to submit it on time 3 days ago, and ooh, fingers crossed and stuff. But I was so busy with that, I couldn't pay attention to hardly anything else. I read for instance, I read my Amazing Spider-Man number 40. I don't even know if I'm going to have time to put out the review because I'm just so freaking exhausted from the world that just, it was good there. And maybe that's the review. But anyway, honestly, I can highly recommend go out and check out the movie because it was pretty damn fun. You know what I'm saying? This was a fun movie to watch. And yeah, who knows? Maybe next week we'll watch, Wonder Woman Bloodlines because I kind of want to see it. I mean, I own it. I paid for it. So why not, right? Raven says Bloodlines are good. Okay, sweet. Yeah, the Snyder Cut thing. Death of Superman is technically 3 stories, and they did 2 movies. Some pacing issues. Could have used a World Without Superman movie. Um, no, I think that you could do a World Without Superman moment. You know what I'm saying? Like no more than 2 minutes in the movie, I think would be enough to, to get across your point. Think about how long 2 minutes is. Hold your breath for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like think about all the story that they could tell in a movie, an animated movie nonetheless. All the story they could tell. Just 2 minutes of the whole World Without Superman would actually be enough to keep the story moving. Because you got to remember, it's not just about us comic book fans. It's about getting the non-comic book fans in so that they can maybe jump in and say, you know what, I'm going to give comic books a shot. That really should be the whole point of these movies. Besides just making money. Uh, 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 what in the Wonder Woman Bloodlines box set? There's a death short in there. Really, Corey Sims? Well then, maybe I'll have to check that out. Batman Year Zero. Year One was amazing. That was a two-parter, right? The was that the one that was a two-parter? I think it was. I remember watching that with my bud, and he's just like, "Oh my God, DC is killing it in the cartoons and like animated movies." He's like, "Whatever you call them, holy crap, they're as good as the MCU is." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, they really are." Like they just bring so much to it. I don't need to see continuous nonsense. I don't need to see, oh, eventually there's going to be a crisis. All the comic book, animated movies for DC are going to lead to a crisis or something like. I don't need to see that, man. I just need to enjoy myself. Jennifer Hale needs to do a Wonder Woman in animated film. How about we do a crossover and have Jennifer Kale with Wonder Woman? We'll form a new Justice League Dark, and Swamp Thing and Man Thing can join up and just hang out, and Wonder Woman's there to lead the team. Let's do that. Um, I want a Smallville animated season 11 and 12. Justice League Unlimited needs to come back. The old Batman and Harley Quinn and Justice League versus Fatal Five. Hopefully, get more classic. Yeah, Justice League versus Fatal Five was really good. I hope that Mr. Jim Shooter actually got paid for that. I hope he got something in the mail for that because he deserves it. Like those are his characters. That was his story. Like let the guy get something out of it. Jeez. Superman versus the Elite was actually pretty good too. You're right, Batter. I'm not going to disagree. They beat DC movie of all time. Oh, I guess the best DC movie of all time is cartoon is Mask of the Phantasm. You know what? You're not wrong. Huh. Maybe Bloodlines and then Mask of the Phantasm. Maybe I can find Mask of the Phantasm and I could do that one also. Yeah, I'll tell you what. How about you guys, if you want, like I said, join the Discord. You'll catch me in there once in a while, but at the very least, you catch each other, hear each other's voice. Like, think about it. Everybody, you're typing with in there. Imagine you can actually hear each other's voices if you want, but you could type, send memes, send whatever you want and whatnot. But then also, and it's free for crying out loud. Like it's 100% free. So feel free to take advantage of a free thing and go and hang out with each other. And every so often I show up and I'll try and do Sunday movie nights with everybody. Just no loud popcorn eating in the microphone because that's just rude. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you could be texting and doing whatever you want because we don't get to see each other. We just get to hear each other. So just don't type too loud. Anyway, one more time. Bang! There's the Discord right there. So yeah, y'all have a good one. I'm gonna bounce out of here. I'm gonna go spend some quality time with the wife. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So I'll talk to you guys later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.